Here's Cardano on the daily chart looking quite boring, especially lately. Crypto space kind of exciting. What is going on with Cardano? Sideways, as usual, it seems, even on the weekly. We zoom out on the weekly. Look at the consolidation basically for 2 years now. 2 years. This is what I want to talk about in the video. The 2 years of crab are about to end for ADA. We are getting very close, everybody. It's almost like we wait 3 years for this, essentially, from the top of the last bull market to this moment. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. I think we're going to have some fun breaking down these Cardano charts. And we're going to zoom in also on the ADA daily to talk about the potential breakout. We are at the lower trend line of this important, especially in context to these macro cycles and a breakout into a parabolic bull, an important lower trend line right at the apex of this triangle. Before we talk about charts, I just want to kind of go over something. I just posted this. My top 2 picks have become clear. Most undervalued blue chip, ADA. Most undervalued meme coin, dog. And I want to point this out because I know I've been kind of talking a lot about dog lately, but I just want to really highlight something in relation to this. This is my crypto journey number 1. Over the years, I've just been very much just tracking it publicly on this YouTube channel. Last cycle for me, ADA was such a key player, right? This was this thing for me that it came out of nowhere. It made so much sense. My intuition told me, get on it, and it did very well. This cycle, I think ADA is going to do very well again. We're going to talk about it in this video. But I just want to mention something. When it comes to this cycle, dog, I think is going to be kind of, for me, what ADA was last cycle. This thing that just came out of nowhere shortly before the parabolic bull run, and it did really well. So I just want to point that out. But all the while, it really does come back to this. Every cycle has its twists, and this one is no different. But once again, I'm following my intuition as I gear up for the next parabolic bull. This is me. This is what makes sense to me. And the balance of it really makes sense to me. Before we really dive into the charts too, I want to point something out. I was just looking up Cardano news, and articles came up, multiple bearish articles. And this might be a very solid bull indicator. Cardano price prediction, analysts doubtful on ADA all-time high chances. But check this out. But this Cardano rival could turn 500 into 50,000. So here they are talking trash on a blue chip, the most undervalued blue chip in crypto. And they're basically selling some new one called Rollblock, changing the crypto gambling industry. This is what you're going to start seeing entering into the bull cycle. So I'm telling you right now, be very careful with just all of this, all of these news headlines that are coming out of these big media organizations, because they really do not care about you. Here's another one. Cardano price prediction, rival altcoin set for 1,800% surge as ADA investors lose hope. What's the rival altcoin? Oh, all the buzz is on Lunex. Oh, okay. So there's the rival altcoin for ADA. This is bullish, everybody. All the while, ADA whale transactions have demonstrated remarkable activity, reflecting a growing confidence among large investors. Focus on what the big players are doing. Focus on the fundamentals, and really ignore all the noise in this crypto space, because it's only getting noisier as we go along. It's very important to really stand back with the macro perspective and study the data. So we're gonna zoom in, and we're kind of gonna zoom out and talk about this 2 years of crab about to end. But before I do, just a quick shout out to iTrustCapital, the sponsor of today's video. I have a little pop-up banner. You get a $100 bonus for signing up with the link below. Hit the link below. The thing about iTrust, they are the #1 crypto IRA. But the thing about it that I continually talk about, and you can buy gold and silver as well. When I think of the ADA BTC chart, because we're talking about charts in this video, and you just look at where it is right now, and we're about to discuss a potential repeat of last cycle, because this is where we are at this moment. Last cycle, ADA was also just suffering. Look at this move to the downside, almost exactly where it is right now. But if altcoins in general, ADA in general, gets a similar move, I'm not going to say it's exactly the same. Maybe we go lower. But if we enter this parabolic bull season, for me, I think the biggest thing that I'm tracking as it relates to iTrustCapital product is the tax advantages in terms of trading macro cycles. So what I mean by that is if you're in ADA, for instance, we're entering into the bull cycle, we're at this parabolic stage and ADA is just like testing all-time highs on the ADA BTC, and somebody wants to move their ADA to BTC at the top of the cycle to hold through the next bear market or something. To be able to do that tax-free within your crypto IRA, that's a powerful macro move. So that's where and there's so many benefits to the product, but this is something I keep coming back to because I think it's such a powerful thing. So if you want to try it out, everybody just explore, open up an account. It's extremely simple and you can go see, they got a bunch of cryptos back there, and iTrustCapital absolutely making moves in terms of crypto and really helping out crypto investors plan their long-term journey. So shout out to them. So let's talk about this. ADA zoomed out. It really is like most of the time, look at this. If you think about this, October 2022, 2 years ago, we were at the same price. That is crazy to me because this is basically, and I've been doing videos on not just Cardano, but the crypto markets through this very crazy consolidation. But if you look at last cycle, it was a very similar story happening, right? And this is what Plutus over here pointed out. Sadly, the 2 years of crab are about to end. I don't know why he said sadly. I really don't know why he said sadly. I'm going to have to ask him. What's so sad about that, dude? What is so sad about that? Prices in October 2018 and October 2020 were 8 cents. Prices in October 2022 and October 2024 were 35 cents. I know he doesn't think it's sad. I know he's just being sarcastic. I trust everyone enjoyed the accumulation zone as up-only season is about to commence. There is the title of the video for this Cardano video. Thank you, my friend. Pound to you, because that's some really nice clickbait. But let's talk about actually from a technical analysis standpoint. So check this out. 35 cents, sideways for years. But look at the time frames. Look at where we are in terms of cycles. And he really points this out. And this is where I was just like, man, foundationally to all of our analysis for Cardano, this is the most simple data point. He calls it the 2 years of crab, and the similarities in terms of structure here and here are obvious, right? The structure of it is so similar. But look at the time frame. And what I wanted to point out is when ADA's falling back here into that bottom of the bear area, that capitulation, that move to when ADA is exiting all of that consolidation and crossing above the the green, the 20-week moving average, that move, 735 days, which is about 2 years. Now, if we go and we look, here's ADA last cycle, capitulating down, right? That move, so that move right there is this move here. And that move to where we are right now, we're just over 700 days in. We're 714 days or so, it says. And we're just below this 20-week moving average. For me, for all cryptos, this 20-week moving average is like this bull cycle, bear cycle trigger. Here's what it looks like entering a bear cycle. Boom. Here's what it looks like entering a bull cycle. Boom. And we're just waiting for that move. It was some hopium to think we were getting it back here when it was breaking above that 20-week, but similar hopium to back here last cycle, right? Breaking the 20-week, breaking the 20-week. But it's where we are in the cycle from a time frame perspective that matters. So last cycle, we were post-halving, and most importantly, I want to bring this into play for context here. Look what Bitcoin was doing. Bull market high to bear market low. Bitcoin was breaking the bull market doors in November 2020. And that move caused ADA to start going crazy on the weekly. Check it out. There's the big breakout in November above the 20-week. That's the move we're waiting for. So how does that line up with Bitcoin this cycle and where we are? Well, you can see we're basically like from a time frame perspective, or just weeks away from being where we were at this point last cycle, ADA breaking up. Even look at the consolidation below the 20-week moving average, consolidation below the 20-week moving average. But we go back to Bitcoin, let's point something out. So Bitcoin right now, if we look at that Fibonacci from bull market high to bear market low, it's the green rectangle, the bull market doors. What's key at this moment is this time it's not Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors. And by the way, when it did, February, March, I want to point this out. This is important. February, March, guess what? ADA was making a move to the upside. It was putting in this swing high. So ADA was acting bullish in that environment. But what we're waiting for now is not breaking the bull market doors, but it's actually seeing Bitcoin see support and escaping the bull market doors. If Bitcoin can do this, and escape the bull market doors, this, in my view, as we zoom out on the weekly, will be the breakout for ADA into its cycle, bull cycle, similar to the breakout for ADA into its cycle last time. And all the data for me, just from a technical analysis standpoint, is lining up. And I want to point this out on the ADA BTC chart. This is getting insane. Look at just how crazy this fall is for ADA, these lower lows. But look at the contrast to the RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator. We have this upward momentum while that's happening. That's some really nice bullish divergence on the ADA BTC weekly chart. And for me, it's kind of like, I get it, there's no guarantees, but this is prime area for ADA to escape this lower low pattern and start making a move to the upside in a very similar fashion that it did back here. And I think even back there, we've talked about it, right? There was some bullish divergence on the chart back then. So lower low on price, higher low right here, some similar bullish divergence. So we're getting ready, I think, for that move. Now, let's start zooming in on the daily chart for ADA and talk about this, because it's getting kind of critical. And by the way, just because we have this incredible synergy between the cycles, right? And especially from that time frame perspective, doesn't mean we're at the apex and we're going to break out now. It would be not too big of a surprise, because it really is all lining up that way. We're at the apex. We've been consolidating at the lower trend line. Maybe it's time for that breakup now. But we have to be prepared for, what if all of this move leads to another swing low to test these bottoms, right? Like, it's kind of like something like back here. All of that consolidation to fall again, to test the bottoms before the move to the upside. So we're falling again before the move to the upside. I just want to say that's in play. But let's talk about the breakout to the upside. We have Cardano Summit in October, and I'm really speaking within context to October. There's 11, 12 days left of October. And I think I even said, I think ADA is going to 50 cents before the end of October, and it's still in play. I know it sounds insane, 50 cents like right here, but we have the Cardano Summit. All it takes is one thing, and ADA could absolutely take off, especially if crypto in general for the next couple of weeks or so remains in this bullish state. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. If it doesn't, ADA is looking like it's going to start falling. Then we have to start talking about maybe a potential for a pullback. But look at this. We are at these moving averages. We are so close to escaping that. 40 cents could come quite quickly. That is the upper trend line of the symmetrical triangle. And if we break out of this area, depending on what's going on in crypto, this is upside speculation. I think 40 to 50 cents could happen very fast. And just to give you an example, if you look, ADA went from, after kind of consolidating around the 20-day back here to exploding, it went from around 37 cents, just above where ADA is, to 67 cents in 13 days. So those are some really nice gains in a very fast time frame, right? We're looking at gains of 81% or so. And from where ADA is right now, if it were to hit 50 cents, we're looking at 43%. So you see how the possibility is there. Maybe it looks like a long shot right now, but if the move starts happening, people will be like, oh, okay, that actually is not too big of a surprise. And that's kind of what happens when ADA does take off. And that's just what I'm waiting for that move, for this move, for this move. And as we really compare cycles, if we zoom out on the daily chart, really waiting for this move right here. So I'm on standby. I'm anticipating all scenarios. As you can see, this pattern, 67 cents breakout to the upside. We have a little bit of a different type of symmetrical triangle in there with a 50 cent target to the upside, but this is way more structured, and I think a good one to watch, especially because we're at the lower trend line of both, and we'll see what happens, everybody. But I wanted to point out all this data as we kind of go into this weekend, into this new week, anticipate the breakout to the downside, potential pullback. So if it happens, it could get volatile. You can see we're testing all of these candles right here. It's right around 31 cents. We're only 4 cents above that area. That's some macro area looking support. So going to be interesting to see what ADA does going into the new week. These are some of my thoughts, everybody. Let me know your thoughts. Please hit the subscribe, hit the like, go sign up with iTrustCapital, give them a shot. And thanks again, iTrust, for sponsoring this video. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.